Hello there, welcome to my video. This is a time-lapse on my game Climate Changed. I made it for an itch.io game jam a few months back, and you can find the link for that in the description below. So Climate Changed is a clicker style game, kind of like Cookie Clicker and other idle games as well. If you don't know what that is, you basically spam one button fucking loads and use the points from it to upgrade the button and also get idle points. It's basically an efficiency simulator, which sounds super shy, but can actually be dangerously addictive. I'm going to show you the 7 hours worth of work that went into the first update for the game in the space of about 4 or 5 minutes. Okay, so first of all we want to make that black void a little bit more twinkly and sparkly and so mystical and cute with some stars. So we're going to use the particle system in Unity, and I'm going to first of all shout out to Octoman X, because he has a great particle system tutorial, and I'll link to that in the description, and I download a sprite from it to fit into my particle renderer. And then I play about the stars randomization, colors, density, all those fun things until I think they're looking like a pretty good fit for what I need. Okay, so this section is on the introduction, and what that looked like prior to the update was basically a wall of text. There was a lot of information in it. There was a paragraph for background information, but then also a load of dialogue lines as well. So to simplify the introduction, I actually split it out into separate pages. I had a forward and back button and a variable to track what page you're currently on, and then a method that you can call passing in the page you want to navigate to, which just disables all other pages besides the one you're about to go to. Because I'm fickle as all heck, I actually revamped the same feature a little bit later on, but we will get to that, don't worry. Okay, so in this section I tidied up the scroll bar a bit. I squared off the edges. I think that fits the styling a little bit better, and removed spaces so that it should be a bit more flush when you drag it up and down. Okay, so this section is about the policy window and the changes that I make around there. The policies are your idle currency in the game, and you use the blue button on them to buy more of them, and that increases your earth points per second. So next I change up the blue buttons on the policies, and I make sure that they have clear states for disabled, active, and highlighted. So for this next portion of the policies, I decided to tidy up the stats, which are presented in the same block as the title and description, as well as the button on the left-hand side. So in this update, my intention was to make that easier to digest at a glance and something the player can readily understand. So to achieve this, I stripped the stats entirely out of each policy. So they are looking simple. They've only got the title and description in them and the button on the left-hand side. And then when you mouse over one of the policies, you, at that point, see the stats. So less information, and you can only see one at a time. It's just simple and a lot more streamlined. And the last bit you see me playing about with here is the alignment. I was having a bit of difficulty getting the numbers and the titles of the stats aligned vertically and also horizontally. So I just used a layout group to finally get that done. Okay, and this section is the progress bar. So for this, I just wanted the players to be able to, funnily enough, note their progress a little easier. So the goal is they have to reach 100,000 earth points per second, and this just makes that a little bit easier to visualize. Okay, so this last section is the modals, and what happens here is I want to create a settings pop-up, so I do that by adding the icon and linking to a pop-up that will show on click. So on this modal, I want to be able to tweak the sound effects and also the music volume. And the values from each of these sliders I will feed into a new controller called a settings controller, and this controller will in turn update the sound effects audio source and the music audio source. And it's worth noting at this point that I now revamp the intro modal panel thing. Instead of being pages, it's just the basic background intro text, and I put that on one of these fancy dancy modals as well. The stars that I crafted oh so carefully earlier now come back to bite me, and I have to figure out a way so that they don't show up on the modal, which gives me the idea of having a starry, beautiful background to the modals themselves, which I implement next, and that about wraps up this update. Thank you for watching that. I genuinely appreciate it. If you want to subscribe or like or whatever, I'd really appreciate that, but hey, it's your crazy life. I'm not gonna tell you what to do. And if you're feeling a tiny bit curious, head on over to my itch.io page, check out the game, see what you think, and whatever you do, catch you later and have a great day.